Hello guys, welcome back to our playthrough of The Letter, episode 2. Last time, pretty strong first impression. I was pretty much nervous once we got to the mansion. I was trying to say through the whole thing, but obviously when you're chatting with your friend whose name I don't remember, wasn't too bad, but yeah, the great atmosphere. I think the stairs were pretty good. When I saw the spread, I'm like, oh, it's kind of goofy. But then they hit you with the quick time event, and like I'm actually not positioned for keyboard stuff since I like to put my keyboard back and my mic a bit like in the forefront just to have better sound quality, I guess. So I was like scrambling to start clicking the Z key. But yeah, it's a good start. Let's just get back into it. Last time we got we passed out and Juan. You know, we don't know her name. I mean, I'm just calling her Kyoko lady, because obviously she's definitely inspired by that, because they directly reference Juan in the description, and she was making croaking noises. And fun fact, if you didn't know this, well, I mean, we kind of talked about it last time. Like, Juan was my like my favorite horror series. Like, it traumatized me as a kid. Now I like it. Now I'm like, dude, as a kid I was so scared after watching it for the first time. Like the weekend after, I thought Kyoko was in my vent, so I didn't sleep for like 2 days straight, like the whole Saturday, Sunday. And then like when I was a teenager, I'm like, hey, Kyoto's kind of hot. But now we're like the horror waifu. But yeah, it's a great series. Besides, actually I think it was 2 years ago I had a full rewatch of the series, or maybe, yeah, 2019 I think, for prep for the 2020 American remake, but that sucked. Luckily there was a Netflix series that was pretty good. Anyways, watch Ju-on. It's a it's a pretty good horror movie series in my opinion. But yeah, so a not hot Kyoko got us, so hopefully we're okay. And then we made a choice, though I do believe if you just prayed, I think we would still be screwed, but who knows, dude. Maybe we would have got away scot-free and I just kind of screwed our character. So anyways, what's happening? Isabella, be alive yet? A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the incessant buzzing, poking and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
5 more minutes, Becca.
That's our friend. I swat away at what is nudging persistently at my side. It's gonna probably be Rose, and we're gonna be okay. Can I just get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek, and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling. Oh, multiple people. Maybe it's all the tour guests, because we are real estate agents planning a tour to sell the mansion, if you don't remember.
Isabella? Isabella? Gosh, can you hear me? Isabella?
The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice and my eyes snap open. There's Rose, I think. A new girl. There, looking down at me, is Rose. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there is someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump had already formed, if the light 8 in the area indicates anything.
Alright, Isabella, where are we?
There's the video, right? There's no like laid spikes, but the soundbar that's very lady. It's kind of tripping me out. But I guess it's fine if there's no indicators.
The Ermengarde mansion.
Ermengarde.
Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12 teen. No. That's wrong.
12 teen.
Why are we doing this?
Uh-oh.
She's just checked if your injury is in any way serious.
Hello, lady. Again, it's the first time in a while since we've actually had English dub in this channel, besides like the cat lady, which by the way had such a good voice acting cast. It was insane. Though I guess there has been some where we purposely kept the Japanese, but it's nice to have, I guess. Very different. This time I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. I mean, from my position, she doesn't look that much taller than Rose. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining crews? Okay, sorry about that. But with how much primly dressed she is... Let me just move this. Those lazy bars are making me feel weird. We'll just cover those up, since I feel like it's showing fine. But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in a suit. An expensive suit at that. Those gloves alone must have cost already a fortune. My anime fashion sense, I gotta say I do love her outfit though. I do like the gloves, the big belt around her stomach, and coat draping over herself. And the scarf, I think that's a scarf, dude. A++ for fashion sense. Talking from someone who doesn't care about fashion IRL at all. I just like characters' fashion in fictional settings, so yeah. Anyways, her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like her supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I both of them warily, but recite everything as she has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you alright?
Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
I was so prepared. I thought they were about to just suddenly flash the face, but I'm lucky. It seems we have a little break before the storm, which is nice. Like I said, eventually this is gonna get dark and like everything's just gonna be dark outside and I'm gonna have a bad time for my heart.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews.
Didn't look like any cleaning crew people I know.
The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with as much patience as she can
As much
muster.
as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really alright?
Hey,
What happened?
check our phone logs first, which it may not show up, but, you know, prove our innocence from being insane.
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
Why are they just, like, ignoring my statement, dude? I know it's kind of crazy for us to see someone, but something did happen if he fell down, right?
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
I wish she'd just take their offer. But obviously she doesn't know that since she doesn't even really remember what happened. I'm sure she still has the letter though, so it's probably bad news. Well, there's also the part where I may lose that bonus BRC promise, but that's completely besides the point. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase railings to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation if she says no.
Right, you in.
A smile threatens to slip out from me.
But if I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us. Her stare makes me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is. but not in the scary negative way. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. Like I said, she's probably my favorite, at least designed character design wise, so hopefully she's a dope character. At her lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
McCulloch. I don't know if I can do the phlegmy thing. What is that? That Scottish? Or somewhere there? I don't know much. I mean, it's not Middle Eastern, right? It's probably like Scottish. She hands Rose her business card. Marianne's definitely well, Marianne's more Italian, but at least I'm judging because my great aunt is named Marianne and she is full Italian. Well, full. She's also part French. You know what? Maybe it's, I don't know where it is. Whatever. It's somewhere in the area, which is a pretty big area, but you get my drift. She's an interior designer. McCulloch. I'm just trying to throw Marianne. Traily Rose Designs. She hands Rose her business card. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her though. Why would you hold it against her? I mean, I guess just buying a mansion. I mean, yeah, what's wrong with liking the vibe? Despite the hearsay and remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. Oh, so she just doesn't like it. I mean, I kind of liked it, dude. I think that looks neat. But I understand if people want more modern stuff. I mean, in general, I don't really care, but I guess my indifference to things makes me like not mind anything. Anyways, I think that looks cool. After all, with what it offers, this place could be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose
McCullough.
Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella
McCullough.
Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough.
I wonder if she's a character, because Rose isn't a character, at least a playable one. Oh, she definitely is. Do we know Hannah? Wait, no, we don't know Hannah. We know Rebecca, Ashton, and I think Zachary. And now we know Marianne. So we're just missing Hannah and Luke. I think. I don't know.
In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please.
Thanks. There's no need for it though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. Okay, so she's not here to buy it. And against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes, Hannah Wright. She hired me to handle the interior design for their new home.
Okay, so maybe she doesn't like the old look.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Suddenly, Rose nudges me with her elbow. I don't know. And we'll just check with our superior. Let's be professional. Yo, who we doing? Marianne up, Rebecca up. Hey, look at me! I'm gonna hit it up with everyone, dude. That's the goal. All pluses. We're friendly. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
So Hana must be like super cocky that she'll buy it at whatever price, I'm guessing. I mean, you gotta be if you send an interior design person before even buying the house. She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I finished. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'd surely understand.
I thought something looked odd. Excuse me, I need to call my secretary.
Or what if Hana didn't call her at all, and this is all a ploy by ghosty peoples?
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. Thanks, Rose. Didn't do shit. But you don't have a relationship by her. So I feel like Rose is kind of on the chopping block. Save our green-haired friend, though. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathed a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. Well, as per usual. They call me the choice master. I'm just saying, we're gonna get the best ending on our first playthrough. It's just what happens. Trust me. Don't look at my track record, just believe in me. Alright? Believe in my words. Happens every time, most of the time. Sometimes. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job, and I can't help but swell with pride. So I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxembourg office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if, for some reason, something has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Dude, she's blushing. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns looking a little frustrated with an apology on her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive.
Okay.
Might as well meet him here.
I don't even know why I had questions because of how heavy her accent is. So, you know, I'm not good at identifying people's cultures and stuff. Okay, I'm just a Canadian guy. The best I can do is like Asian languages, but obviously this is in English. I mean, and I mean by sound, not even by words. But yeah, okay. Sorry.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive.
Now I don't know if that's Irish or Scottish, but sorry for anyone from that area that I've offended.
And Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those.
Can we have like a buddy system going? I don't want to be alone in here.
Can you please get it for me?
Oh boy. Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
Hurry. We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it.
Journal updated. What's happening on the timeline? Friday, October 21st. Rose Trooper, along with a woman, introduced herself as Marianne McCullough. Found Isabella Santos lying unconscious. In the mansion's foyer, before the open house. Unable to recall what happened prior, Isabella insisted on working despite her co-agent's worries about her well-being. The two of them disappeared behind the parlor door. Hey, we're alone again. Yeah, I'm nervous. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep my company neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Please don't just flash your face. I feel like that's in the books, dude. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia? A temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. Want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. If I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. Hey, you've had your chance. We're locked in now. I don't know what's in this house and I don't want to know. The keys Rose have just handed me dig into my palm. Its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Yo, okay, dude. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Guess they just gotta hit you with it quickly. Hey, house, open house now. Nice. It's a bloody place. What can I say? Good thing we touched it up a bit. I like the music though. Good vibes only. Smiley face. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time you finally open the doors. So we're gonna be fine for a while. We might not even get any scares this episode. That would be great. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or undressed, standing in their presence. Yeah, I was trying to say they're all super rich, right? Men and women of wealth and status all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. Dude, those are dope. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby this. Like, the stories those birds will have a field day in this. Dude, I don't know my birds, but random, like, small, short anime videos always appear in my recommended. And I did recently see a bird-themed one, and there's some magpies, and they make, like, the dopest sound when they sing, dude. It sounds like weird auto-tune stuff, and it's great. I like magpies. Or at least my impression of magpies was pretty good. Anyways, they are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos.
Hi, give me
We'll be
money.
taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups.
Oh,
Please make sure
2
you fill up our
groups?
sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
That's toxic, dude. Hey, maybe we're down to like 5 people. Well, I guess maybe not, because a lot of the people on our journal that I assume we're gonna switch POVs eventually are like our friends that have nothing to do with this group and stuff, so
Those who
I
want
don't
to
know.
look around the first floor,
Unless they just
follow
came.
my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
First of all, that's awesome because we're gonna be away from the attic. But also, unless they just came here for the memes, that'd be funny. Hearing this a few wonder to me, they're mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. True. Dude, if I'm a rich person, we're getting a freaking elevator or something. An auto stair climber. Miss McCullough also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches. That's Hana, and that's probably Luke. Probably because they have sprites, but Rose has sprites, so maybe not. I know that's for sure Hana. I don't know if that's Luke or not.
It's so nice to finally meet you. When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you.
What a voice.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
You gotta love her blushing face, though. Marianne's blushing face is pretty cute.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Ooh,
Not at all, ma'am.
he's lying.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
They're both lying, dude. That's weird. Ex-girlfriend confirmed. They did say in this game that it's not all about the horror, it's about the relationships and the drama. Which I like in stories, dude. You know we gotta pair people up eventually, so.
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Run, Hana, run. Weird vibes. Even though I like Marianne. They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine or television, I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others. In their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. Dude, attention, like, I mean, I think that's just maybe it's not natural. I like attention when I can get it, as long as it's positive. I think they are brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. Okay. I was thinking that they might be brother and sister too, but also it wouldn't really make sense with the whole thing about Marianne might having a relationship with them. Or what if they're trying to scam her or something? I don't know. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope that one of the people in my, or is that the proper grammar or no? Am I tripping? Because I used it a couple of times. It's not like my end person's name. Isn't it just, it's either me or Rose or Rose and myself. Not a Maya Rose, I think. But I'm also not a grammar expert. I'm learning though. Whatever, we'll just read it as it is. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is braver and generous enough to buy this mansion. I think one of them definitely is. And so with the papers in hand, I lead the way. They're like ruse. Journal. Today in the marked open house of the infamous Ermengarde Mansion. Open to the public for the first time in years, Luxembourg's most esteemed and prominent personalities gathered to catch a glimpse of the 17th century property. Including Luxembourg's most well-known couple, Luke and Hannah Wright. Apparently not well-known enough for Isabella to realize it. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going, ooh, and ah, over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and the architecture mostly. However, I am careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxembourg knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
That's actually insane that they really restored all this artwork and stuff. I mean, it's a selling point to the house, but you'd imagine that'd be like a lot though. I don't know the typical price for that stuff, but actually maybe not, because I know a lot of, I'm pretty sure the museum in Toronto restores stuff for free, but I could be wrong.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Stained glass? But hello, we didn't really talk about her design. I like it. I think she is actually pretty with the heart pendant. I don't know about this thing though. Looks kind of weird. Other than that though.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I start talking, her attention is already somewhere else.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know about this guy though. He kind of reminds me of what's his face? The blonde guy from Harry Potter. Like back in the old movies, he used to have his like hair slicked back, but obviously now he's older. I don't know. That's the vibes I got. I forgot his name though. It's not coming to me, but I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, I don't dislike him, but yeah, I feel like he can definitely could possibly be a rat or something. He kind of has the rat vibes.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry, I was I was lagging a bit, so I changed the settings. I kind of like fucked with my settings while I was it was the day where I dropped Tokyo Dark, and I was like trying to do settings to change it, but I think I fucked with some of my settings. But keep an eye out. I think it should be better now. But yeah, I wasn't noticing at all. I don't really know what to do. Let me do another pause here. Okay, we are back. I took a little break because it was lagging, and I still think it might be lagging a bit. I don't really know why it would be. Hopefully it's not too bad. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be since it's a visual novel, so... But it isn't great. I'll look into it more later. I did like a bunch of setting stuff, but it seems it doesn't change it. And I can tell it's lagging just because my OBS bars are lagging, which I've never seen before. And obviously this didn't happen the first time, so I'm very confused to why that would be the case. Yeah, I have no idea. For lack of frame loss. I think there actually is display options. Oh, you're right. Yeah. What if I hit you with the medium quality? What would that do? Is it better? It's also a possibility that next time will just be better. You know what? I'm aiming for the best possible. Oh, okay. No more frame droppings right now. I'm gonna pause one more time though. Just do a quick save and play with the options a bit more. You know, I'm usually kind of lazy with stuff, so I want to kind of improve myself. So BRB one more time. All right. Well, that's the last. Guess we're gonna have to run low settings. I tried the texture stuff, but it makes it look really ugly. Well, this looks exactly the same right now, so sorry guys, I don't know what happened, dude. I think that's just right. Don't think so, Marianne.
It is splendid, ma'am.
Story update. I didn't even make a choice this time. Maybe it's from our past choices.
But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Ah, that's okay. That's why. Because if he didn't do it, then she wouldn't know about that. Okay, so that's probably a net positive.
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything.
They're the hottest couple in Luxembourg.
Start taking notes though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually our group reaches the kitchen. Getting the tour in before everything gets spooky, eh? Yeah, I see that. Cellar. I mean kitchen. I guess fancy mansions would have cellars in the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retraining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy book tales. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse, excuse me, hiccuping, cleaning the Sobi, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
I think it would be. Isn't it just to store food? But it could be. This is the first time the guy in the gray speaks up. Mister, Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. He's a wine enthusiast, dude. What's so interesting about a basement? I don't really understand rich people sometimes. I mean, I think if I had a cellar, that'd kind of be dope. Kind of be spooky, but dope. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. My younger siblings, especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
That's a lot of wine.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
That's a lot of wine. What the heck? Is that normal? Seems like a lot. Must be huge. Maybe this kitchen is a lot bigger than it just looks from this angle.
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room.
Honey, we're buying the house. Sounds like a paradise.
It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
I feel like that's a lot of like wealthy young people's dreams to have like a vineyard. I mean, it sounds dope. We've talked about alcohol so much in this channel, mainly in Higurashi, but I'm not the biggest wine enjoyer in the world, but I do like it, you know. I appreciate it. Though obviously I'm team red wine. Team white wines, get out of here. I'm joking, but yeah, red wines are much more to my taste. Also, rosés suck. I thought they would be cool, but they suck whenever I had one, so. Yep, pure red wine or champagne, but yeah.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it.
Is it though?
We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. You know, first impressions, I actually like both of them, even though, like, I know maybe I'm just being biased and this guy's seeming kind of ratty, but I don't know. I like the wife too. I like him too, you know. I'm having good vibes with everyone so far. I'm sure they'll change, maybe some secrets being revealed, whatever, but good cast so far, and a good cast is always good. You know, sometimes they just put annoying characters in casts for the sake of it, and I just like, I get it, but like, why not just make all the characters interesting? If you're gonna make them dislikable, at least make them like interesting, right? Don't make them annoying. I smile to myself. Anyways, we're getting off topic, dude. I kind of got my mojo messed up a bit from the laid stuff. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with a sincere interest. Store. I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. More than half an hour, and we're able to cover almost every room in this ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale? Hey, this is a weird vibe. I don't like it. Anyone else hear this whispering? Fellow guests? When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin. Same, I'm feeling that. A feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ears and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. Hey, my hands are ready. I'm ready to quit time if I need to. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start breaking out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat in a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I've probably just caught Betta's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer. Till a hand tapped my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Ma'am, right.
Yes, ma'am?
Hey, you stop the voices. Are you blessed?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella Santos something something something, actually.
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Ma'am, right.
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana.
Anna?
I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile. Okay. She looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon. Oh, she didn't like that.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
Dude, I love that line, bro. I hope one day, which will probably never happen, when someone says something to me, I'll be like, oh, please, money is not a problem. It's like such a small... It's a flex, but it's not like that in-your-face flex. I just love that line whenever I see it. I'm like, damn, this person's cool. Okay, Hana, you're definitely rising up the ranks. My book?
And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
Now, don't disrespect cats, but also true.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana.
True, Isabella.
I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
But also, like, maybe it isn't good for you to buy it, Hana, since this place is meta cursed. Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
I disagree, but I would never own a pet by my own accord anyways.
But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us.
What an anniversary present, dude.
Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
Okay, Isabella, it's time to do it.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am.
It's a little... skim a little off the top, you know?
I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
Don't ruin the surprise, Isabella.
What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. Yeah, don't snitch, dude. Seems natural. I didn't even do anything! This is all stemming from my two choices, huh? I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only give me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
Cover for our friends, dude. I want to make friends with her. She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Hey, if you help me out, I'll help you out.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
Okay, that's a little mean, but I still like you, Hannah.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
They saw the note. We bricked them. E-list horror prop. We bricked them. Rip Hannah. Rip Marianne. Rip Luke. Solo. A look of confusion and distress appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art.
Hey,
Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
look at those sprites. Little portraits here. They look really nice, honestly. Very contrasting artwork.
Darling Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Excuse me. Don't... You know, we talked about this last episode, but... And this might be less severe, but this was created by a ghost, alright? Don't want to diss the ghost's letter in his house, alright? Her house. Sorry.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
Well, what are you even talking about? Who would design a home based on a chain letter design? These guys are disrespecting us. Why are they considering this even as artwork, dude? I mean, maybe it can be artwork, but I
I'm
don't know.
quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
You know what? I accidentally cursed you, but keep talking like this and maybe we'll be chill, you know? If we pass 5, we're actually gonna be uncursed, so we just need 2 more people. Sorry, Rose, but there's no other spreaded characters, so it has to be 2 other people, probably. Or Rose plus 1. It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Hannah's leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Yeah, you know, they're banging. A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of
I
paper.
would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letters in my hand. The sides crinkle in my grip and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I don't even know when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place, because I remember everything as clear as day. The letter and that woman in the attic. It's real.
Letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? But showing the letters to Rose will kill her. So we're Rose friendly, I guess.
Rose,
Hey, Marianne went up. Based. I was planning that. I guess she would be pissed if we tried. But I was thinking more it might just kill Rose, so. The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in the house, in that attic, in that letter, and it's going to go after us. Please believe me.
Me. Is Isabella alright?
Ma'am, Hannah's voice breaks through the haze, and breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worried etched on her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit on a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I can also make Miss McCullough asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. They are all likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion, clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off things. No one is going to believe me anyway.
No. I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Just tell them you want to dip. Tell Rose you're not feeling well. Can I go home? And like never come back. Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and go gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off, before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddled with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it, nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can, but I have this nagging feeling that one way or another it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this.
It is true though, you know. You could talk about the curse, but what about the money? You know what I'm saying? Also, they were kind of low-key dissing us.
I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work.
She's
I just
trimming
need to get
us.
myself together.
She's actually I mean, we want to be trimmed, but like willingly. You don't trim us from the project. Hey, you're cursed, so now I don't feel bad.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel.
You know what, Isabella? Just dip, dude. Just dip and let these people get cursed.
But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
Yep. Unlucky.
No, I'm not.
You are.
Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere. I can see you, and let me handle this for now.
Okay, if she's not actually trimming us, then that's totally fine, in my opinion.
You're clearly not yourself, and I
Thought she was
honestly
gonna,
could use
like-
some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not.
Thought she was trying to like trim us and like not give us the share of the profit, you know, that would have been fucked.
The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress.
That's a curse, actually.
Please, humor me just this once.
She clasped her hand together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
You know what, Isabella? Just take this time to leave, dude.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Dude. Who does that? That's dude, everyone's disrespectful to Isabella, dude. Truly unlucky. At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us a strange look from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I agree, honestly. I mean, if we're not leaving, then stay with the group.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, alright? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
Weird that Rose just didn't question the letter at all. Does she think, like, obviously we didn't write it, right? Does she assumed we write it after the concussion? She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Alright guys, I think we're gonna wrap up this episode. Sorry for half of it being lazy, but we call that, if you're new here, we call that a classic Aiden maneuver, where at least one episode of every series is stuffed in some way, so I'm very sorry about that. Now we'll just roll it with lower quality, which I honestly can barely tell a difference. Maybe like the outline of the sprites are a little more stuffed, but that's totally fine in my opinion, whatever. Good episode. Kind of light on the stairs, but you know shit's gonna go down soon, so enjoy it while it lasts. But next time we'll continue the house tour and see what goes from there. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Again, if you're new, make sure you sub. It really helps me. It boosts my ego. Liking also helps me. Comment if you want. And yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays for the letter. Hopefully this series has caught your eye. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you again. Bye.